The headmaster's office had a seat outside. A long bench, wood-hard, bum-sore and just a bit too high. I reckon that was the genius of the seat because you ended up sitting there looking small and less of anything, with your feet dangling and your knobbly knees blushing red. And all you heard was the sound of your classmates hardly daring to breathe. I sat there waiting for the bell to ring, which meant Mr. Hellman will see you now. I sat and waited, time drip-ticking away. Before Hector came to this school, I hated it. I believed it was invented just so the bullies, with brains the size of dried-up dog turds, could beat the shit out of kids like me. A kid with different coloured eyes, one blue eye, one brown, and the dubious honour of being the only boy in the whole of his class of 15-year-olds who couldn't spell, couldn't write. Yes, I know, Standish Treadwell isn't bright. How many times did the jerk-off bully boys sing that to me, egged on by the glory-ass leader of the torture lounge, Hans Fielder. He knew he was important. Head perfect, the teacher's pet. He wore long trousers, as did the rest of his gang. Tell you this for a bucket full of tar, there weren't many in our school who wore long trousers. Those that did thought themselves up there with the greats. Little Eric Owen wore shorts like the rest of us, but he made his shorts longer by doing everything Hans Fielder required of the runt. If little Eric was a dog, he would have been a terrier. His main duty was to see which way I was heading home every day and give the signal to Hans Fielder and his merry men. The boys needed something to get their teeth into. The chase would be on. I ended up being caught and beaten every fracking time. Don't think I didn't give as good as I got, because I did. But I didn't stand much of a chance when there were 7 of them. It was the day I first met Hector. They had me cornered under the old railway tunnel near the school. Hans Fielder thought he'd caught me good and proper, that there was no escape unless I wanted to risk being killed, for at the end of the tunnel was a sign. You didn't have to be able to read it to know what it said. It had a cross and skull bones on it, which meant keep out or you're dead. That day, down there in the stinking tunnel with Hans Fielder and his gang of nasties jeering and throwing stones at me, I came to the rapid conclusion that it might be safer to run into the long grass behind the sign and take my chance with the devil. There was no barbed wire or anything like that to fence it off. That notice alone had the power of 1,000 scarecrows. I ran down the tunnel for all I was worth, past the sign into what I was certain would be a firing range. At least it would be over quickly. Mum and Dad were gone, and Gramps? Well, I didn't let myself think about Gramps, not right then, because Gramps was the only person that still pulled at the gravity in me. I glanced over my shoulder expecting to see Hans Fielder and his frickwits following me. What I saw was a murky group of lads drifting away. I stopped by a huge oak tree, out of breath, dizzy. It was only when my breathing became more steady that I realized what I'd done. I waited some time. If the greenflies turned up, I would put my hands up and give myself in. I sat down, my heart and egg bumping against the side of a pan of boiling water. It was then that I spotted it. A red football. Deflated, yes, but whole. I stuffed it in my school bag, a reward for my bravery. Not only that, but as I went further along the disused railway track, I found raspberry bushes, groaning with fruit. I took off my shirt, tied the sleeves together,